name is Evan, and in 694 days, I'll be 40 years old. It's a long way out, but I'm already setting big goals. This video vlog is part of it. I'm trying to document my journey every day. I've got some physical goals, got some business goals. I want to start a ministry and have that ministry be what sustains me and my family so I can quit my job by the time I'm 40, which, like I said, 694 days from now. I wanted to share today for the vlog part of my story, part of my journey that got me, so in this book we read, to get ready for this class, we read the book, The Critical Journey. And in there's 6 stages of faith that all Christians go through. You become a Christian, that's stage 1, a saving awareness and initial relationship with God. Stage 2 is learning about God. Stage 3 is doing things for God. Stage 4 is the inner journey, seeing myself in a new light based on my growing relationship with God. And in a lot of ways, stage 4 is a lot like stage 1, where the need for grace is emphasized and sort of realized on a new level. Like I see the sinfulness of my heart. I prayed the sinner's prayer up here in stage 1, but in stage 4, it's like, well, there's a lot more stuff in there that I didn't realize I even needed to confess before. Stage 5, once we go through the inner journey, is the outer journey, is coming back out of ourselves and being able to interface with the world in a brand new way because of our deep, deep understanding of God's love and grace and my identity. And I understand myself in a whole new way, so I can go and do things in the world in a whole new and important way. And stage 6 is the life of love, an ongoing life of love. And actually, we go through the steps over and over again. It's an upward spiral, growing closer and closer. If God's in the center of the circle and we go around and around, we get closer and closer to God and we move up. And so we'll go through stages 2 through 6 many times. And we should. If we're not going through the steps, that means we're stuck in a step. The first 3 steps are pretty normal. Almost every Christian experiences those. Going into that stage 4, the inner journey, there's also a thing there called the wall, which stops us from proceeding if we don't engage on an emotional level with ourselves and with God and begin to understand ourselves in a really deep and new way. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my first, my kind of, it's not really my first encounter through the wall, but it's the one that really got me through it, I feel like, fully for the first time. And that was 11 years ago when I found out I was going to be a father. And up until that point, I was learning about God, I was doing things for God. Up until that point, I felt pretty self-sufficient in my faith. I felt like I knew enough about God. I feel like I knew what I needed to do. I didn't always do it. I was working on willpower and self-control and things like that, but I felt like I had a good grasp of it. That when I found out I was going to be a father, something felt really out of control about that. And I was very happy about it, but there's also this sense of uncertainty. And I really had to embrace that because there's no way for me to get the certainty, I needed to understand what it means to be a father ahead of time. You just have to do it. I think a lot of things, when we grow in our faith, are like that. There is uncertainty. There is uncharted water that we must enter into. And so that was one of the first big things for me. I mean, before that, as an adult, I felt like I was a little disappointed about what it was like to be an adult. I felt like, for some reason, once I got to be a certain age, I don't know if I thought that was going to be 20 or 18 or 22 or 25, that at some point I thought I would just know what it is I ought to be doing and answers would come easy, but that never happened. And I saw the other adults around me, some of my peers, some people that were older, and I started to have a little bit more insight into what was going on, and it just seemed like everybody was kind of faking it. Kind of, doing the best they could. And I was a little surprised by that. And that really, hit me when I found out I was going to be a father. So there's a crossroads there. I could have ignored that feeling. I'm sure it would have gone away eventually, and I could have just kept winging it, kept figuring that I basically have enough information. I basically know what to do here. I don't need anything new. I don't need new information. I don't need new insights. I'll figure this out. Or, and this is what I ended up doing, I need some help. I need to know what's going on with me inside. I know the depravity of my heart. I know, I was struggling with an addiction, and I was trying to deal with it just with my buddies and with my wife some, and it was wearing everybody out because it wasn't getting sober. And I had to learn what it even meant to get sober. The main thing that helped me get through the wall and begin to face my emotions, begin to sort of get more okay with vulnerability, was working on my addiction. Going to meetings, going to therapy, getting more intentional about the ways that I do accountability. And it took many years to even realize that the emotional stuff going on under the surface is feeding the addiction. And when the emotional stuff under the surface reaches a boiling point, acting out and engaging in the addiction, is what escapes. Anyway, that is the kind of work that it takes to push through the wall. In stage 4, really examine myself on the inside, really recommit all that stuff to God. So, what I experienced, and I was in a couple of different groups, a couple of different counselors, it took a while to sort out what works for me, but it's also what, in a large way, what works for everybody, is seeing where my emotional life and my spiritual life come together, how they affect each other, and how as a complete person I can pursue God and be in a more full relationship with Him and begin to realize my calling and to be able to be a better friend. That's exactly the kind of thing that we hope to be able to do to help other people through. We're not going to be able to be everybody's counselor. We're not going to be everybody's group therapy person. We're going to put the tools in people's hands, though, that will help them be able to do that stuff in their life, in their city, and with their friends, with whatever they need. Maybe they don't need to go to a meeting, but maybe they need to go to a counseling. Maybe they just need to talk to their pastor and their elders and get 2 or 3 really solid friends around them that they can just be real with. Whatever it is. I would love to be able to help people get there, because it's been such a fruitful experience for me, and it's been the thing that really saved my life. Like I said, I was able to see at a crossroads that crisis was inevitable down one side, because I knew I didn't have the tools I needed to really keep on going. It's important to be able to recognize, there will be crisis of faith. There will be midlife crisis eventually. We want to learn the emotional tools. I want to be equipped with the emotional tools to meet those challenges when they come up. And I'm blessed and fortunate to have God open my eyes when I was younger to start to work on that stuff. And it is my hope and prayer that I will be able to present that stuff in a way that makes sense to people and to help other people go through the crisis on purpose and with God, instead of having it sprung on them and then having to, we have to cling to God either way. But if we can put our feet on the path of spiritual development and starting that upward spiral and moving through the steps on purpose, that's a beautiful way to live. So that's my prayer for everybody watching this. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.